Hey everyone, welcome back to Cowboy Survival. Glad you're here. Hey, tell you what, while you're thinking about it, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell so that when new videos come out, you'll get a notification that they're available for you to watch. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at my home first aid trauma bag and the kind of things that I have in it. Maybe it'll give you some ideas for a first aid bag at home. A lot of these things are things that really are helpful, but things we normally wouldn't think to have around the house. So hang on, let's get into it. So let's talk about the bag first. This is a Rebo Gear tactical backpack. It's about a 40-liter backpack, costs about $31 off of Amazon. Nice constructed. Would it work in a battlefield situation? I'm sure it wouldn't. I'm sure there are plenty others that are stronger, better made, but this one really suits my purposes fine. It's got 4 major compartments on it. It's got a compartment here, a smaller compartment here. It's got a middle compartment and a back compartment. It's got straps to tie this thing down. It's got a waist belt. It's got good padded shoulder straps that are vented. I'm really happy with this. Matter of fact, I have 2 of these. I've got this one in tan, and I've got another one in black. Really nice backpacks. So let's talk about what I've got on the outside of the bag. First, I've got on the outside of the bag, I've got a pocket knife. And if you watch my videos you've seen before, I really like these little pocket knives from Craftsman. You get them down at Lowe's is where I got this. They're not very expensive. Nice little flip blades. They've got a new one out that actually has a lock on the side. This one's the older version. The lock is really nice. It's a little lock, but it also has a liner lock on the blade. The blades come very sharp. Just nice to have a nice little pocket knife because you never know when you're going to need to cut something. And I just put it in a little pouch that I bought aftermarket. I also have on the outside of this bag a tourniquet that I can get to very quickly. It's a tourniquet. It also has a pair of clothing scissors that I can wear to cut clothing off for folks, so that's really nice. If you get these tourniquets, make sure you practice with them, make sure you know how to use them. So get you a couple, and then take one that you just practice with. Take it out, fool around with it, practice putting it on, taking it off, practice putting it on, taking it off. People don't tighten it down because that would be dangerous, right? You don't want to tighten it down to what actually acts as a tourniquet. Just practice so that you know how to use it if you need to. Now, I also have a couple of carabiner clips on the outside. I'm not sure I'd ever need them, but they were cheap at Walmart, so I bought them anyway. I also have, on the other side of this, I've got, I just have some sterile gloves that I put inside one of the little Molly hooks here. I just figured I'd have those. I could grab them really quick if I needed them, because in a trauma situation, you might have people with a lot of blood. And then on the outside, I put an Nalgene bottle. I bought this one at Walmart. It's not actually Nalgene, but boy, it sure looks like one. It sure feels like one. It sure works like one. It just only costs $5. So make sure and get you one of these if you need one. And I bought this pouch aftermarket. It's I forget who makes it, but it matches pretty well, so I put it on. I have one of these on my black bag as well. So let's start looking in the pouches of this thing to see what we have. So let's first look at the small pouch on the top of this bag. This is the stuff that I want to be able to get to really, really quickly. So what I have in here, first I have a couple of more bags with this little baggies that I put some more gloves in. So I've got plenty of gloves. I've got more gloves stashed throughout the bag. I have a headlight. If the injury or the disaster happens at night, as they often seem to do, I've got this headlight. This is just a cheap little Energizer headlight, but I can put this on and I've got nice light for the middle of the night in case I need it. Now, I always want secondary light, so I also have my little O-light. This is my O-light i5T EOS. Again, it's a great little light. I like it. One of the reasons I like this, first of all, it's small. It's got the double click, so I could put it on the brim of my hat if I needed to. It just fits right on like that, and I've got light right there. But in addition, it runs off a AA battery. So if I need to replace the battery in the field, I can very easily and very quickly. I just unscrew that, so I don't have to recharge this. A lot of these really high lumen, really high quality flashlights have rechargeable batteries. I didn't want to have to recharge it, so I've got that. I've also got in here some extra batteries in case I need some extra batteries for this. So I got 3 AAAs. The 3 AAAs would fit in here. If these go out, I probably ought to put a 4th AAA in case this one goes out. but I've got 3 AAA batteries. In addition, I've got a multi-tool. I just had an extra one around the house. This is the Ozark Trail multi-tool. I paid like 10 bucks for it. It's a nice little tool. It's got a lot of things in it that you can use that I think would be very helpful. It's got the pliers in case there's some reason you needed pliers. For example, if somebody had some barbed wire wrapped around them, you needed to cut the barbed wire. This has got wire cutters in it that you could use. It's got all kinds of other little tools that you might be able to use. Can never go wrong having a multi-tool around with you. So I keep that in that as well. Another thing I keep in here is I keep some baggies with some medications. Well, actually, first, I've got one of these emergency blankets. This one, I don't know, this one is a gold mini foil. I don't know, I bought a whole package of these things, and it came with the bonus gold foil emergency blanket. I've got some other emergency blankets, but this one is right on top. If it's in a situation where I need one quick, it's right in that first bag where I can get it. I also have a couple of packages with some other things. This is sort of a boo-boo kit, real small boo-boo kit. It's got some bandages in it. I've got some anti-itch cream. I've got some what do they call it, triple antibiotic creams I can put on. It's got a sterile in case you got stings. Maybe somebody got stung but ran into a nest, or a disaster. Maybe it knocks over a bee's nest and you get into the bee's nest. So I've got some anti-sting wipes for that. So this is just a really small. I got some alcohol wipes in there as well. And speaking of bees, there's one right there. We'll get rid of him. There he goes. Right on cue, right? So this is just a real tiny little bag. I've got a better first aid kit with more of that stuff buried in the bag, but this is right on top for any, just a little baggie full of these things. Then I've got a little bag. I bought a whole package of, from Rescue Essentials, I bought a whole package of little individually packaged medications. I've spread them around between my packs, but I still have a lot of them in here. So I've got in this, it's got all kinds of stuff. It's got, let's see, this is, what's this one? I gotta pull my glasses down. I'm getting older, right? This one's for acid indigestion. Here's one for diarrhea. Here's one for, what's this one for? Headaches. Like, this is like acetaminophen is what I've got here. I've got here. This is like antihistamines, because you never know what can stir up, what kind of antihistamines can get stirred up. This is aspirin, which is really good, particularly if somebody's having a heart attack or maybe heart attack pains in the aftermath of a disaster. That's real helpful to give them that until the authorities can get there. This is ibuprofen. Some people can take acetaminophen, some people can't. Some people can take ibuprofen, some people can't. So I've got some of both. Like I said, I've got a lot of this stuff. It came with a whole lot more packages, but I distributed a lot of those throughout my first aid kits that I keep in my car. Who've got a lot of this stuff in them. So this is also right in the top package, and that's why I have that bottle of water so I can get people. One of the things I need to add to this is some paper cups so that I can pour that water out and give people little individual doses of water that they could use in case, or I could get some of that emergency water that you can get online, get some packs of that to keep in here for people. So I'll put this stuff back in here, and we'll see what's in the next pouch. So again, keeping all these supplies that you think you might need immediately really handy is going to be important, I think, as you go into the field and need to start immediately helping people. The other thing about having a nice duplicate flashlights is that you can use your headlamp and somebody else can use the other lamp if you have somebody that wants to give you some help and assistance. So in this other front pouch, which is a little bigger, I have some other things here. Let's take a look at what's in this bag. So I've got some things like, these are just some cool packs that you can get, and they're really great because you squeeze them, and there's a little button inside this, and you squeeze that, and these get really cold. So if somebody has a sprained ankle, some kind of injury with swelling or spraining, that can be really, really helpful. I've got this is called a foil baby bunting. So if you have a child that needs to be wrapped up, this is a real nice tool. It's basically a reflective blanket. It's not quite as big as the normal blankets, but it is really great for a small child or a baby. What else do I have in here? I've got some quick clot hemostatic dressing. So if you got some blood, so I got two of those. So I've got this one. This is quick clot hemostatic dressing. This one is quick clot, advanced clotting. Again, make sure you know how to use these if you're going to keep them in your bag. But again, these are going to be very, very helpful in a case where you've got some bleeding, and that can easily happen after a trauma. I've got some gauze wrap here that you can use. So some gauze. What else do I have in here? Some tape if you need that. Though actually I think there's other alternatives that are better than the tape. But tape is fine. I like some of that stuff that you use. That's they give you when they wrap your arm when you give blood or something. That's really good stuff to have because if you're sweating, it'll stick even if you're sweating. Another gauze bandage, and then I also have here another emergency blanket. This is a Coughlin's one I picked up pretty cheap. Picked up this one up years ago, but I've never used it. But again, it's a real nice thing to have in your bag. So I've got those things in this in this front package. They're basically supplies to have on hand that I can reach into and grab really quickly. And I can certainly add more stuff to this if I needed to. So we've looked at the front two pouches. Let's look and see what's in the first section and the first section is really my major section that I'm going to have, this middle section in the bag. The back section is going to be interesting, I think you're going to think when you see it. But we're going to open up this section next and see what I keep in this section. Nice thing about this bag, it doesn't open up all the way. Some bags do, this one doesn't. So this is some of that Searflex flexible bandage. It's really nice. You're gonna laugh at me. This is what we used to use on the horse, but you know what? It works just as well on people. It's nice and big and thick or wide, so you can wrap I can put that quick clot bandage on there, then I can wrap this stuff around it, and it's gonna stick without having to use tape or adhesive. Remember, some people are allergic to adhesive, so that might not work. This is something I picked up. It's kind of a neat item. This is called Uber Numb. This is basically, it's 5% lidocaine. Now you've seen the icy hot stuff you get at the store. It's about 3% lidocaine. This is 5% lidocaine. It's actually got better numbing in it than the other stuff does. You can take this, wipe it on somebody's, maybe they got a sore back or they've hurt their shoulder or something. This will help numb that pain a little bit, take some of that sting out of it. I've got an extra tourniquet that I always carry. It's always good to have 2 of those. I also have in here another cold pack, and I've got some warm packs because sometimes you need warmers, right? So I've got the warmers and an extra cold pack, though I had 2 in the other section. And I got 2 more packs of gloves. Now, why are these different than the other gloves? Be quite honest with you, I had the other gloves in the house, and then I went and bought a box of nicer gloves, a little bit thicker gloves, and that's what these are. So that's the only reason they're different color, is I just happened to buy some additional ones to add. This is something I picked up just because it was kind of cool. It's some disposable. It's a disposable skin stapler. If you watch that movie, The Martian, with Matt Damon in it, it's pretty cool that when he has the injury, he's able to staple that injury shut. I'm not going to be able to suture things. If somebody's got an injury they need sutured shut, and it doesn't look like that the paramedics are going to get here anytime soon, I could probably use this. But, you know, this would be a last resort. I wouldn't normally do that. But on the other hand, it's nice to have it in case you needed to do that and nobody else was around. I have another one of those rolls of that non-adhesive bandage. This stuff is just really so cool to have. So the next thing I have is my main first aid kit. I don't remember. I got this on eBay or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember where I bought it. May have even been somewhere else. I just can't remember. But this is good. Let me put some of this other stuff back in this bag. So the nice thing about this is that it's got all kinds of cool stuff in it. And it's got lots and lots of supplies in it. So when you open this thing up, it's got lots and lots of Band-Aids and bandages and pad. You know, I've got butterfly bandages in here. These are really cool. I bought these separate off the internet. These are not only butterfly bandages, but you can put them on either side of a cut, and you put one on either side, and it's got zip ties, and you pull the zip tie, and it'll pull that cut closed. That's a really cool cool item I picked up off the internet. We got sterile dressings in here. I've got lots of little sterile pads in here. More zip stitches. Those zip stitches are just such cool things. I've got some of those packages I talked about earlier when I talked about that bag of all those little things I got, aspirin and ibuprofen and stuff. I got that stuff in here. I got some of those. I got more alcohol wipes. Alcohol wipes are great. By the way, alcohol wipes are really good. If you get people who are nauseous, take one of these alcohol wipes and just put it on the nose, have them sniff that for about 30 minutes, or excuse me, about 5 minutes, and that nausea will go away very, very quickly. Little miniature thermometer that you can put on the forehead, test somebody's temperature. So those are, again, just great supplies that you would need in a first aid kit. Like I said, lots and lots of bandages. You're going to need those because you can get lots and lots of cuts during a disaster. Again, more stuff here, more of the itch cream, the antibiotic creams. I think I've got some burn cream in here somewhere. That's really nice to have. Just really nice, cool stuff. I don't know. There's my first aid burn cream. So again, that stuff is really great to have in here as well. I got here's another rescue blanket. Came in the first aid kit. I've got now it comes with a little pair of plastic tweezers. I'm going to be honest with you, these things are next to useless. They have no strength to them. You're not going to be able to pull anything with them. They're not good for pulling out splinters. So I went down to TJ Maxx and I got a pair of Tweezer Man tweezers. Now my wife tells me Tweezer Man tweezers are the best tweezers on the market. These are normally about 20 bucks for a little bitty set of tweezers, but they are really, really good. They're made out of really good steel. If you want to sterilize them with a match, you certainly could, I suppose. But these are really, really nice and tight and nice for only like $9. Normally they're $20. I found them at TJ Maxx for $9. You can also get them off Amazon for about the same price, these little Tweezer Man tweezers. So I'm probably not going to keep the little plastic ones that came with the set. We'll toss those. I will have these Tweezer Man tweezers in here. Really, really nice set of tweezers. Comes with a little pair of scissors. I'm not sure why you need these when you've got the other ones with your, right here with my tourniquet, but a little pair of scissors it comes with. Comes also with some Q-tips. I don't know if I would use these to clean out somebody's nose, but you can certainly put some ointment on these to dab inside a wound. Really be nice to have. You never know when you might need the tweezers. A little gauze pad like I had in the other section of my bag. But I've got another one here. These are really cheap. You can buy a whole box of them. There's no point in not having them around. In this section, I've got some other things. It comes with an instant cold pack here. Remember, we have other ones, some antiseptic towelettes. So antiseptic towelettes are different than the alcohol wipes, right? These are for actually wiping a wound and sanitizing a wound before you put anything on it and before you bandage it up. The alcohol wipes are for washing your hands, for instance, after you've touched something. If you get bodily fluids on you want to wipe them off, the alcohol wipes are good for this. This is an antiseptic towelette that's going to be used for cleaning a wound, right? Tongue depressor, I don't know I'd ever use a tongue depressor on somebody. I'm not sure I'd have the guts to do it, but I would do that. Again, I have several of these towelettes that come with it. Here's a little, what's that? That's a little tag that came with the kit, I guess. Little paper first aid kit there. If you don't know how to do some first aid on somebody, you got it. It's got another tongue depressor in here. See what else has it got in here. A little bitty roll of medical tape. So that's what's pretty much in this. Lots and lots of supplies for bandages and for tying up wounds, for covering up wounds. Again, the cold pack there that you might need. You know, people get hit with things. They get swelling. They get all kinds of things they need to deal with. I think that's going to be really, really helpful. So I've got everything in this first aid kit I think that I might need in the case of an emergency. I can pull this out, and whatever somebody's going to need, I've got it. Now you want to make sure that you've got, that you know what's in there and you've gone through this. And if somebody needs something, you know right where to find it, so you're not rifling through this, particularly at night in the field. You're able to find right where everything is. Let's zip that up. I want to show you the back section of this, which is really a very large section. This back section opens up in a 100% clamshell manner. And we'll put this off to the side. I'll pull this over here and open it. So what have I got in here? Well, I always carry with me, just about everywhere I go, a hand towel. You never know when you're going to need a hand towel. Very, very helpful. I've got an Israeli bandage here in case you've got kind of wound that needs to be bound up very tightly, maybe a severe thigh cut or arm cut or something that needs to be bound up. I carry an Israeli trauma bandage with me. Now, these things are things I picked up when I was in the hospital. This is an amazing thing. It's already pre-wet. It's washed. It's like a washcloth or wash towel, really. It's very large. All you do is you just take it out. You can add some water to it, to the fill line, and it's going to fill up as a nice, nice towel for washing yourself. I used this when I was in the hospital when I couldn't take a shower, but I had an extra one, so I kept it. When you're in the hospital, keep that stuff. This is a gluconate cloth. It's really great for cleansing the skin before you're going to cut it open, or just keep cleansing an area that needs to be kept cleansed. This is really good stuff. Again, I had this bag in the hospital. I kept it. These are also additional cloths for cleaning. I got these they were in my little bag in the hospital, and I just kept them with me. So I had them, so I said, I'm going to take them and put them in my bag. So if somebody has something they need to wipe themselves, maybe they've gotten something on them that's dirty and they don't want to get infected, maybe it's mud, they need to clean an area before you put a bandage on it. These kind of cloths are going to be very, very useful. Now, I also keep an old towel in here. You just never know when you're going to need a full-size towel, so that's in there. In the back section back here, I've got another Israeli bandage. I've got another packet here of gauze tape. I don't know why I've just got one, but I've got that in this other section here as well. So I apologize for that interruption. The battery died on the camera, so I had to get up and change the battery. But in this section here of the bag, the part that flipped down, there's a net pouch here. And in this pouch, I keep several hyphen chest vents. These are really helpful in case you have some kind of a puncture wound that needs to be treated. What happens with a puncture wound, oftentimes people, if they get maybe a nail goes through their chest or something larger that went through and came out, and it leaves a hole in their chest. The problem is that as they breathe in, their chest fills with air, but it doesn't expand back out. And so it doesn't release out as well. Sort of the nature of the way these chest wounds work. And so the problem is that as you breathe in air, it begins to compress your lungs. That air pressure builds up inside the chest from the chest wound, and it can suffocate you because your lungs can't expand. A chest vent like this helps prevent that. You put this chest vent on, and air can go out, but air can't go in. And that's really helpful as somebody's still trying to breathe. So you can stop that problem of air building up inside the chest and compressing. So, well, there you have it. That's my home emergency medical bag. I recommend everyone put one of these things together. The process of acquiring the items and learning how to use them is really interesting and really informative. It helps to educate you as you're building this bag, thinking about what your area is like and what kind of things you might need. You're going to learn an awful lot about how to take care of other people and how to take care of injuries as you investigate and research the kind of items that you're going to be adding to your bag. It also gives you a great deal of comfort knowing that you've got the things you need there at your home in a ready to access place. I keep this bag hung in a place where everybody in the house knows where it is. Now, of course, we have other stuff around the house, but this is if something happened and we couldn't get to that stuff, or if something happened in the neighborhood, I need to grab a bunch of stuff. This is all together in a package, ready to go and ready to help people. Are there things I could add to that? Probably so. I'd love to hear from you as to things that you think I ought to add to this bag. In addition, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. As I said, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Finally, remember what we always say: stay strong, stay prepared, and have a blessed day. We'll see you real soon, right here on Cowboys Survival.